March 10th, San Jose, the SAP Center, the Shark Tank. He's one of our favorites. He's Michael Venom Page. There he is.
What's
MVP.
up?
What's happening, my man?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Where are you right now? In a studio?
I'm in like they tried to make it fancy today. So yeah, I'm in a studio.
Look at you. Last time you came on, you were in your hotel room. Maybe not last time, a couple times ago, and you were spinning the records for us.
Mixing it out, man. Yeah. That's my comfort. That's my comfort right there. But
you
not
bring
today.
Not today, but you bring that with you to San Jose?
Nah, yeah, it'd be too much to bring my whole system over. So nah. I got to get a travel version.
Yeah.
But I haven't got it yet.
By the way, did you hear the new song for this show? New track came out, a remix of my intro. Did you hear it?
I haven't heard it.
MVP,
You're gonna play it. Play it.
Frank, hit MVP with the new song. Frank is not here.
He just ran to the back.
We literally rehearsed this.
This is embarrassing for us. Yes, I agree. This is embarrassing.
Wow. I have a song, MVP, and I told my audio guy Frank to play it when you came on, and he decides to take a bathroom break when you come on.
Oh, where do you get the help?
Yo, you talk about fumbling the bag, huh? I mean, that's his new name, Frankie Fumbles. Wow. I'm embarrassed. When he comes back from his bathroom break, I hope we don't disturb him too much. I'll ask him to play it. Nevertheless, here you are returning. Big opportunity for you, big card. I'm excited to see you back, but I want to ask you about the last time I saw you in action, and that was bare knuckle. What was that like?
Yeah.
You know, I have to say, you're such a nice, soft-spoken, clean-cut guy. There was a part of me that was like, I don't know if MVP is like, is he enjoying this? Because I didn't, I felt weird about it watching you out there. I have to admit.
Nah, you know what? I did enjoy it. Weirdly enough. It was very different. But I just love the new challenges with regard when it comes to combat. Full stop. So this one was a completely new challenge. The training had to slightly alter. I think where I actually slipped up as well was, and it's my coach actually told me as well. On the day before, he's like, go and check the canvas. Actually, go and step into the ring and fill the space that you're going to be in. And I was like, it's going to be like anything else. But it does differ because the size of the ring in general is not the size that you're actually fighting, because the rope starts so much further in. So it's actually very tight when you get in there. And it just slipped my mind. I completely forgot to do it. And when I was in there, I was like, yeah, shit, this is hella tight, man. So that was a new experience. The intensity of it as well, because it's 2-minute rounds. But I did enjoy it, and I may touch back again. A lot of people don't want me to, but I want to try again.
Who are these people that don't want you to?
Nah, it's friends and family. They were like, they hated seeing me in there.
Yeah.
Because of the type of boy I was. They hated seeing, how swollen I was afterwards. And they're the ones that are kind of pushing for me not to do it again. But I don't like to go out on a loss, so I want to potentially change that.
And now we've seen Perry's going to fight Luke Rockhold, and Eddie Alvarez is going over. How do you think Luke Rockhold's going to do against Perry? Now that you've actually fought Perry in bare knuckle, who do you think wins that?
Obviously, I was kind of surprised at Perry. Or not surprised. I know he's just game for any kind of fight, but Luke Rockhold's a lot bigger, so it's going to be difficult. But he comes to fight. It doesn't matter who's in front of him. He's comfortable in that arena. He's used to it. It might be a shock for Luke Rockhold.
Yeah. I think for a lot of people, right? You watch it and you're like, okay, maybe I could do this, and then you go in there. It's different. It's completely different than MMA, is it not?
Definitely different. And even down to just I know as much as we have small gloves, when you get hit, it doesn't, the damage effect is not the same. You get hit with, bare knuckle and you're swollen immediately and you're cut immediately, and it changes. You feel every shot. Whereas you can kind of ride shots a little bit, especially punching wise or boxing wise in MMA.
How long did it take for you to feel 100% after that fight back in August?
Just a week. I
really?
Feel quite quickly, to be fair. Yeah, I was my hands and my face was puffy for about a week. I didn't cut. I don't cut easy, so I didn't cut. I was just a little bit swollen. Literally, the following week, I was in Carnival, I believe.
Wow. Just chilling. Okay, I thought maybe, the hands, the face, this and that, but look at you. You're like Wolverine out there. So you're returning against Goiti Yamauchi. You like this fight?
Yep.
When you were, a veteran of the Bellator scene as well. What do you think of this fight?
Yeah, it kind of brings me back of like the beginning of MMA. Someone that's such an expert in one area versus someone that's an expert in another area. That's what it kind of feels like. Obviously, we fill the gaps because you kind of have to. Nowadays, you have to understand and know the rest. But he is exceptional in the area, and you can see by the amount of submissions he's got. He's got the highest submissions in Bellator, and I've got the highest, KOs in Bellator as well. So you can see where we prefer to be. So it's a great fight. It's an interesting fight.
He actually spoke to my good friend, my colleague, the Brazilian beast, Guilherme Cruz, and he had this to say about you. He said, quote, "I'm not Logan Storley. If I take Michael Page down, he's not getting back up." What do you make of that?
Again, you're supposed to have confidence in your area. That's his area. But I can say the same and say, if I hit you, you're going to stay hit. And we start on our feet. We don't start clinched up. So, it doesn't surprise me that he's confident in that area.
But who do you think is actually tougher on the ground, him or Logan Storley?
Obviously, I haven't felt him, but Logan Storley was an exceptional wrestler.
Yeah.
So there was moments during the fight that I had to laugh because there was certain things that he did that I just wasn't, I hadn't trained for. And I say, when you wrestle somebody that is a wrestler, it's different to wrestling someone that can wrestle in MMA. It's very different. So, I learned a few things in that fight.
Considering that, were you surprised at the amount of trouble that he had with Yaroslav Amosov a couple of weeks ago in Dublin?
I was more surprised at the tactic approach that he decided to go for. And I spoke to him afterwards, and he kind of said he wanted to try and keep it standing a little bit. I also feel, the backlash from the fight that we had, I think maybe even weighed on his conscience a little bit with regards to people kind of complaining about it. And he wanted to almost prove a point that he's able to strike. And for me, that was silly. It was not necessary. You go in there, you want to get the job done first. Let people complain afterwards. They're going to forget about it and you'll still be the champion. Instead of trying to prove to everybody that, oh no, I actually can strike. MVP, I had to do it this way, but no, I can do this. And you spent 2 rounds trying to strike a guy that is obliterating you, like in every form. Every punch he was beating you to, every kick he was beating you to. In all honesty, at that level, you're supposed to make changes in minutes, in seconds sometimes. If you're at a really high level of striking, his head was doing this nonstop. In all honesty, I'd be like, yeah, this ain't working. Let me just go and shoot. And he should have played the game that he played the first time.
That's interesting. I wasn't thinking of that while watching it, but that's 100% right. And I'm also wondering with you, because you remember we talked about how it was controversial, how even though he was taking you down, you were actually inflicting damage. A little reminiscent of the 4th round with Alexander Volkanovski and Islam Makhachev. Makhachev's taking him down, but Alex is the one, keeping busy and actually punching. And so what is it? Is it the damage? Is it the takedown? Whatever. Are you going to do anything different? Like, let's say we get in a scenario again with Yamauchi where he tries to take you to the ground but isn't doing as much. Did you learn anything from that fight, or do you feel like the judges aren't even paying attention to that? Once you're on the ground, even though they tell us about the damage, they usually favor the takedowns more.
Yeah, they definitely seem to favor the takedowns more, and something needs to change. But there just needs to be a clearer direction and a clearer criteria of what they're supposed to, or how they're supposed to be judging. So whatever powers that are in control of that, they need to kind of make changes. Because for me, coming out of that last fight, the most frustrating thing coming out of that last fight was not, obviously, technically it was amazing. As a martial artist, I appreciated what he did, yeah? But coming out of that fight, it didn't feel like I had a fight. And I'm in a combat sport. I've just spent 5 rounds with somebody, and I don't feel like I've been grazed. So it's like you've come in there to not actually beat me up. And I thought that's the whole point of this the structure of this, what we do. We're supposed to try to inflict damage and so on and so forth. Yamauchi is different. And the reason I say he's different, and obviously I did learn from it, but the reason I say he's different is, if he gets a takedown, he's going to go for a submission finish. He's going to try and beat me and cause and inflict damage. That's going to create a bit more space and allow me to kind of maneuver a bit more. But when you've got someone so exceptionally good at wrestling that holds you and is happy to just be there, then it's going to be a lot more difficult for that to happen. Like if we just had a kickboxing fight, and I could just keep him trapped in the corner and just beat him up for the whole time. And that's because that's his world and this is my world.
Right.
But MMA needs to have a bit more of a better criteria, I feel.
Funny that you say that, or you thought that after the Storley fight, and then you went into a bare knuckle fight. You definitely felt like you were in a fight after that one, I would imagine, right?
Definitely
maybe
felt like I was in a fight.
Maybe that made up for the lack of damage in the Storley fight. By the way, what about our good friend KSI over at London Shoot Fighters? I saw in his last fight, very MVP-esque in his striking.
Yeah.
Did you work with him?
Yeah, no, obviously, for me, it's more, my coaches get all that kind of stuff done. And we kind of learn and take from each other. But one thing that I feel I'm proud of is that my style has influenced quite a lot of people, not just in our gym, but I see more and more people, lighter on their feet, moving around and using more long range striking techniques in MMA. So I'm just kind of proud to see it's spreading down to other people.
What about his work ethic? You impressed with him?
That's the thing I say to everybody. I don't care what your background is. You could be an influencer or a YouTuber. You can be a mechanic. You can be an ex-swimmer. You can be wherever you come from. I class you as a martial artist. I class you as a combat athlete based on how you train in the gym. And I class KSI as a combat athlete.
Yeah.
I get to see him training in the gym. So, yeah, I take him seriously.
Man, a fight, him and Jake Paul, that would be gigantic, right? That would be, in the UK, it would be insane.
Unbelievable. Seriously, just some of the misfit shows that I've been to that, the guys are doing in the UK. Like, I have to say, the MMA fan base needs to improve, man, because these guys were there from fight one. In fact, before the fights even, before we've even as athletes even walked across to go into the arena, they were lining up around the block.
Wow.
And the first fight had a full stadium of people. And it's so annoying, especially when you see these guys busting their ass, putting so much effort in, and having people in drips and drabs walking through, almost waiting for the main event. When there's these guys that are talented athletes that are coming in on the earlier card, and they're fighting in front of just their family and friends, near enough. So we need to step up as a MMA community or combat community and actually support these guys and be in there from the beginning. You
see, last week they had tag team boxing.
Oh yeah,
that is crazy.
They actually practiced that in our gym first. So
really?
They started. They tried to. They obviously had the concept. I thought let's trial it in the gym, and they were doing that in the gym.
You're okay with that? Like some people, there's purists who say, "Oh, this is crazy. This is ruining." You think it's okay?
And the thing is, they're right in the sense of if you're trying to relate it to what exists. But the thing is, what we do exists.
Right.
And it has its own arena. This is a separate thing. It's a completely separate thing. And it is fun. It is more for the new generation of people. And where we benefit is the collaborations every now and again, or some of the actual boxers fighting on some of these guys' shows, giving them a bit more profile because some of their fans will come across. But it's their fans. It doesn't do any harm to our sport. It's their own fans. And it took me a second because at first, I kind of felt the same way initially. And then when I saw it, it's like a lot of the guys that are in that arena are not guys that you'll see coming to a boxing show or an MMA show. So there's nothing to worry about.
By the way, speaking of London Shoot Fighters, I don't know if you saw this. You're fighting on Showtime this weekend. They're coming out with a documentary series on Lee Murray. Did you see this promo that aired yesterday?
I've seen that.
Do you see that?
I've been wondering for years when they were going to do that. He's an amazing character to do that on. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
You got to see the trailer. It comes out April 7th, and they dropped it yesterday.
That's my birthday.
It's all coming together. It's called Catching Lightning, I think it's called, or Catching Lightning,
okay.
Lightning Lee Murray. It's about that story, 4-part documentary series. I saw this finally, because I too have been waiting. I was like, how has no one made a film, a documentary on this guy and this story, the greatest bank heist in the history of the UK? Unbelievable stuff. Does anyone talk to him, by the way, at the gym? Like, is there any communication?
Yeah, the coaches are still quite close to him. They still talk to him. He actually said that I'm one of his favorite fighters. I have to just put that out there. So,
wow.
He said, he had an interview before and said that. Yeah, I'm one of his favorites. So I'm happy I made it. I made the list.
That's amazing. Did you ever meet him?
I never got to meet him. Obviously.
Before.
He had already done his job.
Okay.
his heights before.
I feel you. I think, Frank, are you back from your bathroom break? Or
Never left.
Do you realize that we planned this, that when MVP was going to come on, you were going to play the song, and then I threw it to you, and you were nowhere to be found. How do you feel about this?
Literally the worst.
I mean, there was egg all over my face. Can you apologize to MVP for wasting his time?
I'm so sorry. I did not intend for that to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be embarrassed, man.
Yeah.
This bad.
I don't know if he's actually sincere, but can we play him the song now?
We sure can.
Here it is. Here's the remix to this theme song. Tell us what you think.
What a mensch.
You see that? You see that?
What a mensch.
Yes. Oh.
We got the UFC. I rep it on the mic like a MoDB.
Hey.
Mr. RIC.
Yeah.
Ricky
the Prophet.
Fuck with me. Hey. I'm the nominee.
It's not bad, right?
Yo, that's good.
Yeah, you can check. By the way, go to the MMA Hour on Spotify and iTunes. You can get that. All right.
That's fire, man. That track's fire. I like it.
Next
I
time,
like
you need to come in studio one time and play for us a little bit with the turntables.
Yeah, no, I'll do that. I'll make sure I drop your track as well.
Oh, you do your own little remix of the remix.
Yeah. Come on.
Who's a better DJ, you or Michael Bisping?
I have never heard Michael Bisping.
DJ Mikey B? You're not. He's telling me he's like the most famous DJ athlete in the UK. BS.
So I'm definitely going to say me then.
Okay. He's into it. He too has the turntables at home, but I feel like you're better. I feel like you're better.
Okay. Nah, I'm glad you said that.
All
Make
right.
sure you tell him that as well.
I'm excited for you to return. Looking forward to it. Bellator this weekend, Friday, San Jose. Good luck to you, my friend. Thanks as always for the time.
You, man. Always good to see you and speak to you, man. Take care.
Same here. Good luck to you. There he is, the one and only Michael Venom Page. Big fight for him this weekend.